In this lesson, we are talking about function notation. So a function can be thought of as a machine that assigns one output to each input. So what that means is you plug in something for x, you get out something for y. That's how it works like a machine. So we're going to look at this example, f of x equals 3x plus 4. And we're going to break it apart and talk about some vocabulary. So f of x is the way that you would say this. So f of x, the f represents the name of the function. So we name the function f of x because sometimes you'll see g of x or h of x. In this particular example, f of x is 3x plus 4. G of x might be a different function. Now, in the parentheses, we have an x. The x is the input. So whatever is in the parentheses, that's what we're going to plug in for x. Right, now we're going to look at each side of this equation. So you'll see we have one side of the equation and the other side of the equation. On the left-hand side, f of x represents the overall value. So what number do you get out when you plug in something for x? So you can kind of think of it as the y value. Okay, so f of x, the left-hand side is the overall value, the output. And on the right-hand side, you have 3x plus 4. This is the function itself. So this is the machine part. This is what you do to the x that you plug in. So what happens to x when you plug it in, that's the function. Now let's look at a more concrete example. So using this example, f of x equals 3x plus 4, we're going to evaluate f of 2 and f of negative 1. Okay, so first let's do f of 2. So f of 2 means that we're going to plug in 2 into this function, right? So what we have is we're putting in 2 into this function. So f of 2 equals 3 times 2 plus 4. Okay, so all we did was we took 2 and we plugged it in for x. Now we're going to simplify. So when I simplify this, f of 2 is equal to, so the function of 2 is 6 plus 4. So f of 2 equals 10. So when I plug in 2, it goes into that function, some stuff happens to it, and then I get out 10. So 10 is the output, which is the overall value of the function. So the function of 2 is 10. That means when I plug in 2, I got out 10. All right, now let's try f of negative 1. So that means we're going to plug in negative 1 into the function. So remember that f of x equals 3x plus 4. So f of negative 1 equals 3 times negative 1 plus 4. So simplifying this, evaluating this, gives us negative 3 plus 4. And negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1. So we get out a positive 1. Okay, so the function of negative 1 is equal to 1. That means we plugged in negative 1 and got out positive 1. That's the basis of function notation.